Number 1.
Do not frag your commanding officer.
I might be taking a break from
We the people.
Oh, but the women are celebrating.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show. So glad you could be here today. Listen, we've got a great show planned for you. And we've got one guy that has a message for recruiters that, well, quite frankly, HR would not approve of. And then we've got another guy that carries the Constitution everywhere he goes. That's right, my friends. We've got a lot of liberal madness to get to, so let's jump into that pool right now. So sit back, relax, and buckle up. We're about to enter the Lib Zone.
Do not frag your commanding officer.
No, don't do that.
Shoot a recruiter.
Man, you are one twisted f***.
Oh,
I
gosh.
just drove past this guy and he had his arm out the window, and on his arm was like ripped up paper that says, "We the people." He had a tattoo of the Constitution on his arm.
Ugh, disgusting. Ugh.
just wanted to let you all know that
What?
I might be taking a break from social media for a bit because I'm not
that might-
feeling well, as you can maybe tell.
Yeah, we can tell.
I love you guys.
Totally insane. I mean, totally. She really took Dave Thomas's death hard. Wendy went off the deep end. That's very funny. And here is a list of the 3 types of liberal women that you may encounter in the wild. It is presented by an AI Joker-esque type figure. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty accurate. Take a look.
The 3 types of female liberals. Number 1. The ugly girl. The one from school that people never liked. She became a lawyer and now has a god complex over it as she looks down from her podium. Her picture is in the dictionary next to the definition of a pompous ass. Number 2.
Okay.
The uglier girl.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
The one that dyed her hair purple and got a nose ring so she could fit into at least one clique. Now she works at Starbucks and disseminates communist propaganda with her girlfriend when she's not on strike.
I think that would have been the girl we just saw with the red hair and all the piercings. She's definitely number 2.
Number 3.
Okay.
The ugliest girl.
Oh, gosh.
The one
okay.
at school who never had any friends.
Aw.
She realized the druggy, sex-addicted pedophiles at the protest will
Jeez.
literally accept anyone into their circle of debauchery.
That's
Now she's
true.
homeless and addicted to the fentanyl the Democratic Party gives her to show up to their protest. This explains the maniacal craziness of the liberal women. They are all just super angry at you and the world. Most of the anger comes from how seriously good-looking MAGA people are. And the fact
True.
that we just fit in wherever we go because we are strong enough not to care about fitting in.
Yeah.
We have always been just ourselves for ourselves.
You hear these dumb trying to defend Trump. Oh, but the women are celebrating. First off, anybody defending Trump like you give a about women.
Jeez.
Second off, you know how many of us here would be celebrating and rejoicing in the streets when that dumb orange catches one? People celebrating a leader's demise is nothing new.
Okay, I'm going to say this just because YouTube might ding it. So if you are thinking of hurting yourself or deleting yourself or however you want to say it, get help. There are numbers you can call. So just be aware if you're triggered by what this next girl has to say. Now, it is sad because she appears to be completely insane, but
The only reason why I haven't self-deleted myself yet, why I haven't yeeted myself out of this world yet.
yeeted? I only know of one definition of yeet, and it's not. Okay.
Yet is because I refuse to go before that man.
Wow.
I need to be alive. I need to be here when he goes.
That is some seriously petty stuff right there out of this lady's mouth.
Okay? And I refuse to go before he does. And I cannot rest. My soul will not rest unless I know that that man is gone off of this planet forever. I go to bed every night thinking that tomorrow will be the day.
Maybe.
Tomorrow will be the day.
I doubt it.
Okay? And that's the only thing that is keeping me sane and alive right now.
I think we missed the boat of being sane. But
No.
okay. Yeah.
For everything around, devaluing and depowering the woman because she's basically God. She's a life giver. She can create life. Men are good for nothing. But in
What? No. You kind of need two to tango, my friend. She can't just pop babies out willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying?
ending it. That's why men are always viewed as the Grim Reaper, Father Time, things that take. Women are life givers. They're birthers. They're creators. They are the builders of our society, but they've been deplaced.
The builders of our society? What what cities have women built over the centuries? Probably pretty few, if any.
The masculine has long overtaken her throne, and they've pushed her aside out of jealousy, out of need to have control.
How much soy do you eat, my friend? Because I think you need to tamp it down on that. Taking in that soy. You need to get a little bit more testosterone going.
Because they feel less than, because they can't produce as much. A woman can have a kid and still work and still do all the things a man can do, but a man can get a cold and he can't get out of bed. So
Well, I mean, that's kind of true.
it's like, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up for another amazing banger by Lex Blazing Daddy Paul. Touchdown to Heathrow, DP and me, bro.
Why? Why would you do this to yourself?
C6 midgets that be fighting, juggling. Maybe it's just me, cause my mind is struggling. Babes, boyfriend is acting like a clown. Know what's going down every time that we in town. Take a look through the peephole. Yo, everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them neeks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show.
Well, I actually went through a similar process just today. As you notice, I'm clean shaven. So I can kind of relate with that lady. Now, if she is looking to give herself the most ridiculous haircut because she doesn't want to date MAGA men, I think she accomplished her goal. Let's check out this next guy who maybe needs to take a class or two on applying makeup, because I don't think it's quite working, but he thinks he looks great. Let's take a look.
I get so much hate from men on my makeup. Men just can't stand the fact that I'm secure enough in myself to wear makeup. They can't stand the fact I'm gay. It's just... Ha! Gay! So to the women out there that support my makeup and are always kind to me, I really appreciate you.
Hey, if you want to wear makeup, totally fine. Just, kind of take a little bit of pride in the application. Like, seriously, dude. And here are some demonic moms celebrating that they transitioned their children, and they just are so happy and thrilled. Take a look at these absolute idiots.
You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. Yes, you do. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. Yes, you do. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. You're a brave ass bitch and you got this. Yes, you do.
Sometimes when I'm in public and people meet me for the first time, they instinctively misgender me. A few times I've gotten pretty honest and genuine feedback from some of these people saying that it was the way I stood or the way that I walked that made their brain perceive me as masculine. But I don't even know how to begin correcting these things. And I think I need help, but I don't know where to look.
It's called a psychiatrist. And they think you're a man is because you're a dude in a dress. It's pretty obvious.
How many genders are there?
We literally pay taxes for social programs. If they take them all away, what are you paying taxes for? If the military's doing shit we don't want them to do, what are you paying taxes for? If the president's doing shit you don't want him to, what are you paying taxes for? If Congress is doing shit we don't want them to.
Well, that would imply that Congress actually does something. But go on.
What are we paying taxes for? You guys are stupid!
You don't have to love Trump. You don't even have to like him.
No, but I do.
The issue isn't Trump anymore. It is that the left hates him more than they love America.
Yeah, that's true.
They would rather watch the country fall apart than admit he ever did anything right.
Yeah, we're seeing that right now.
Cheer when things go wrong, when prices rise, when chaos fills the streets, just so they can say, see, we told you, Trump was bad. That's not patriotism. That is bitterness, and it is dangerous. Because evil isn't just doing wrong. Evil is hoping your own nation collapses just to prove a political point. America doesn't fall because of one man.
True.
It falls because too many people would rather see it fail than see their opponent succeed. You don't have to love Trump. But if you hate him more than you love this country, then maybe the problem isn't him.
Yeah, the problem, it's Democrats. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but they're kind of an evil party. United we stand, divided we fall. And they're doing everything in their effort to make sure we're divided in every way possible. Kind of sad.
I don't give two flying this administration is saying, okay?
Wow. Okay.
I don't believe anything coming out of this administration at all. Our body count, the U.S. body count is up over 300. The body count for U.S. casualties overseas is up over 300. I believe those that are giving these numbers that are outside of the United States. I don't believe a damn thing. Like I said, when Donald Trump was asked point blank period today, should Americans be concerned of deaths on U.S. soil? And he said, I guess, like I said, some people will die.
Probably, yeah.
That is.
I mean, we've already seen it in Virginia yesterday.
Why he said that the death toll is going to drastically rise because it was already risen.
At the State of the Union, President Trump said the state of the nation is strong. But I also think this is true because the Democrats are doing their best to absolutely destroy this country.
What do you think of Trump's Iran strike so far?
I'm totally against it.
Why are you against him?
I don't think he had any foresight in what he was doing. For example, Iran proceeding to attack all their neighboring countries. I think it could lead to a world war.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Would you call it an illegal war? Because some people are calling it that because he doesn't have congressional approval.
Well, it's certainly extrajudicial. Yeah, I think it's probably a legal war. He doesn't get congressional approval for anything, so he's totally an illegal president, in my opinion.
Well, this was the Trump administration's justification. This is what he said was the reason for the strikes. The president had the constitutional authority to direct the use of military force on Iran because he could reasonably determine that such use of force was in the national interest. Does that sound convincing to you?
Of course not. He has not gotten congressional approval. He's taken upon the responsibility upon himself to make that decision.
What if I told you that this was actually the Obama administration's justification for bombing Libya for 7 months?
Well, then that was perfectly okay.
What, do you think so? Was that illegal and was that dangerous?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't remember enough about that to really offer an opinion on it.
That's actually probably the first correct things she said in this whole interview.
You think that was an illegal war?
I just told you I don't remember enough about it. I have to know more about it and refresh my memory.
He conducted strikes in Libya, bombings, cut off the entire airspace for 7 months, killed a lot of people without congressional approval. Similar situation, perhaps?
I don't know.
So when Obama unleashed our bombs on Libya for 7 months, the liberals and the Dems were like, yeah, that's totally fine. Cool. But when Trump goes at Iran for just a week and a half, I think we're getting close to 2 weeks now, they're totally freaking out. Come on, people.
With all my respect, my message to you as citizens, you have the dumbest president in 236 years.
Did you say 256 years? Because that's... we've only been a nation for 250 years, and that's coming up this July, but okay.
So, take my advice to avoid risks. Free your mind, free America from these Epstein devils. Good luck.
Did he just say Trump was an Epstein devil? I think he meant to say Biden. Here's Ted Cruz talking about how insane it is that the threat level to the United States has increased with sleeper cells activating and possible drone strikes in the United States. And yet the Democrats have shut down the very institution that makes sure none of that stuff happens. It's totally insane. Let's take a look.
FBI bulletin that went out regarding the drones, potentially strikes in California, and Governor Gavin Newsom not taking those threats seriously, especially after the fire threats he disregarded as well. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and that really went well, didn't it?
Look, I think we are facing a higher terror threat level than any time in decades, and that is caused by two things. It is caused by, number one, 4 years of open borders under Joe Biden that allowed 12 million illegal immigrants into this country and that invited terrorists, Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists, Iranian terrorists into this country. Secondly, there's obviously military conflict in the Middle East. We have multiple radical clerics who've issued fatwas calling for terrorism against America. We've seen 2 terrorist attacks in the last week, one in Austin, one in New York City.
Actually, let's add 2 more to that, because the one in Dearborn where the guy drove his truck through the synagogue, he was taken out. Fortunately, I don't think anybody was hurt. And then the former, I think it was an ROTC, he was in the military, something to that effect. Anyways, this guy was a naturalized citizen, and he went and started shooting up a school in Virginia. Some ROTC students subdued him and took him out. They didn't shoot him. I really want to know what they did, though, to take this guy out. If they just beat him to death or like they choked, broke his neck. I don't know what they did, but they did something. But yeah, so we're definitely being attacked here in the United States. That's not just a myth, right? It's fact now.
And at the same time, Democrat politicians in Washington are voting repeatedly to defund the Department of Homeland Security. The entire purpose of the Department of Homeland Security is to stop terror threats and stop terror attacks. It is wildly irresponsible for Democrats to defund DHS while America is at a heightened risk for terror.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're doing it on purpose for some kind of agenda. And here's what happened in Michigan yesterday. This is the Oakland County Sheriff, and he describes how this guy drove into the synagogue, was driving down the hallway when a guard took him out. Fortunately, because there appeared to be children somewhere in the synagogue. I guess the synagogue was kind of a big place, but yeah, this is not good.
He drove in through doors with a vehicle. Something ignited in the vehicle. That's a work in progress. We're, through an abundance of caution, clearing the vehicle for IEDs or any explosives.
And here's an FBI update on the tragic shooting in Virginia, where the ROTC students grabbed the shooter and took his life. They did not shoot him, so I'm not sure exactly what they did. But it is super tragic in this case because this guy, who has ties in helping ISIS, was arrested for that. And some judge, I'm sure he or she was appointed as a Democratic judge by Obama or Biden. I don't know, but maybe Clinton. I don't know, but this judge cut the sentence in half, let this guy out in 2024. And for some reason, the FBI just let this guy do whatever he wanted. This death should not have occurred. This guy should have still been in jail. Anyways, take a look.
How was he deceased?
There were students who were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
So he was not shot?
He was not shot.
He shot 3 people?
Correct. We have information that he shot 3 people.
The one that went to Virginia.
And with all the top tier leadership gone in Iran, they had to pick new leadership. And this is apparently was the son of the Ayatollah that got killed. And this guy apparently is way more hardcore and extreme than his father, but nobody's seen him. There's rumors that he got hurt in the bombing that took his father's life, and he's hiding with broken legs or something. I don't know. But here is it's an AI rendition of a CNN report giving us an update on the new Ayatollah, and I guess everything is really great for him.
Our new supreme leader is very much alive. Today he went to the beach to walk, enjoy the sun, get a little tan, enjoy delicious margaritas and sexy mamacitas, you know. He totally alive, you guys. He not in a coma in hospital or anything like that. Oh, and he is totally not impotent. His PP works perfectly fine. He laying pipe everywhere he go. Women are like, oh my God, Supreme Leader is big powerful stallion. His PP works so well. Anyway, everything is fine in Iran. Thank you for asking. Bye-bye.
And here's President Trump talking a little bit about the Save America Act. And he basically lays out that if you're against it, it's because you want to cheat in the elections, which pretty much the Dems do all the time. Let's check it out.
That in the Save America Act as one of our 5. That's voter ID. We want voter ID. We want proof of citizenship. We want no transgender mutilization of your children. We don't want transgender mutilation. That's number 3. We want no men in women's sports. That's number 4. And we don't want to have mail-in voting. Where the votes go, where the hell do they come from? So we do that. It's 5 things. They're all 99%. They say, oh, that's an 80% issue, like voter ID. No, I think it's a 99. I think the Democrats have it at 87%. The leadership doesn't want it. Why don't you want voter ID? There's only one reason. Ready? Because you want to cheat. Okay? They blame it on all sorts of things. They came up, they said it's racist. They came up with things that you have to say their imagination is great. No, we're not going to let them cheat like they did in a certain election that we won't talk about. But that election was, and they cheat now. Look, we're not going to let it happen. So we're going to go get the Save America Act, not the Save Act. Nobody knew what the Save Act meant. The Save Act, what save what? Save America Act. And we're going to do everything we can. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe we're having a hard time. I think anybody that votes against it shouldn't be allowed to run for office. You want to know the truth. But we're working.
So, hey, if you're curious as to why our Department of Homeland Security is defunded and partially shut down right smack in the middle of a conflict in the Middle East, because it makes no sense, right? Like,
No.
why would that happen? Well, listen up.
Are in a DHS shutdown right now because Republicans have refused to agree to the type of bold, transformative, meaningful, and dramatic reforms we are demanding.
Oh, yeah, it's the Republicans' fault. Yeah, of course.
In order for the Department of Homeland Security funding bill to move forward. And I won't go through all of the demands, much of which we've talked about repeatedly in the public, but one of those demands is keep ICE out of sensitive locations. And we've defined that as schools, houses of worship, hospitals, and polling sites. We want an explicit prohibition that ICE can go nowhere near any polling sites in the United States of America. It's one of our demands. We're not going to bend on it.
It is actually shocking to me that Hakeem Jeffries actually came out and admitted to all of us that illegal immigrants are more important, that he wants them protected in election polling places. Illegal immigrants are not allowed to vote in our elections. So explain to me why ICE would be there and why that would be a concern for the Democrats. I mean, it would just act as a deterrent to make sure that illegal immigrants don't show up at polling locations to vote because they're not supposed to. But Hakeem Jeffries wants to make sure that they're not deterred. That's crazy to me. He actually has come out publicly and said that. So tell me again that they're not halting the SAVE Act. They don't want to pass voter ID and proof of citizenship in elections because they want to cheat. They want illegal immigrants to cheat. There's no other explanation for this, guys. There's none. And as far as the safety and security of Americans go, they could give two shits of a rat's ass about you and me.
One thing
okay,
that could potentially be the difference between us saving the Republic and losing America. John Thune passed the SAVE Act. You don't think you have the votes? Great. Let's put it up for a vote. Let's force these Republican senators to go on the record saying they don't support common sense election integrity. There are pretty much no more excuses that any of us are going to hear, that any of us are going to buy. It's time for a vote. It's been passed out of the House. I'm looking right at you guys in the U.S. Senate, looking at the so-called Republican leadership. John Thune, call the vote right now. It's not just what America First wants. It's what over 90% of Americans support. Call the vote.
If you still use X, can I just ask why?
Because it's super convenient? I don't know. Why wouldn't you use X?
Like, is there genuinely a point? When Elon began buying it, most of the companies that anybody should even be paying attention to in the first place started pulling out. No major business is posted on there anymore. When people talk about the news and everything else, they don't talk about Facebook and X like they used to talk about Facebook and Twitter. They're no longer conjoined like that anymore. There are too many other platforms to be using. Why are you using X? You are doing nothing but giving that asshole more money that he doesn't need so he can beg a bunch of pedophiles to go rape kids on their island.
What did you say? What the f did you just say?
Like, be so for real. Get rid of it.
He's not going to tell you this, but if you have long nails, he
Yeah.
wants you to give him those soft little scratches, the scritchies on the back of his head that make his toes curl and his eyes twitch. He's big and tough, okay, but he wants head scritchies.
Well, I don't know about the toes curling, but yeah, I do definitely like a nice little head scratch. And you don't need super long, like, witch nails to do it either. Like, you can have normal nails and it's still pretty nice. My generation will start a revolution. Yeah, but your generation can't figure out if they are a boy or a girl. So yeah, good luck on that. And here's Charlie Kirk breaking down the biggest differences between the Islamic faith and Christians and what the two groups believe in. It is a stark contrast. Take a look.
Muhammad was a genocidal warlord who married a 6-year-old. Did you guys know that? And then consummated the marriage when she was 9 years old.
Wow. And they say Republicans are full of pedophiles.
We believe the greatest man ever to live defeated death at the grave, rose 3 days later, and when it came to children, said it's better for you to have a millstone hung around your neck than to go after one of these children. I'm sorry, I'm Team Jesus on this one.
Yeah, me too. All the way. News and nuts. News and nuts. Hey, it's news and nuts.
Trump is calling for what I wanted him to do 3 days ago, but only after needlessly sowing chaos and recklessness. He's created many more problems than the Strategic Petroleum Reserve will solve.
You're not supposed to tap into your strategic petroleum reserve to solve a problem that the president created himself.
They decided not to move forward on the strategic petroleum reserve. Now they are. They're just literally making this up. And that is what's so terrifying.
Yeah, but it was fine for Biden to drain the oil supply when he drove up the price of gases because he mandated that everybody has to do EVs and ditch gas. Yeah, that was fine. All right, my friends, that was the news. Now on to the nuts. This guy makes some really cool slow-mo videos, and he uses physics to make some pretty astonishing images. Take a look. We're going to end on a good note today. This next story is of a World War II veteran when he was fighting over in Japan and one of the islands. And in the caves, he found a bunch of Japanese money. And he thought, this is just kind of funny money. He didn't think anything of it. But apparently there was a lot of it. And then when he actually got to Japan after the war, he cashed it all in and transferred it over into U.S. currency. And it is quite remarkable what that man did with the money. Check it out.
The 77th Infantry, the old bastards, one of the new recruits, he got attached to him while they were on Guadalcanal. While they were there, they kept finding all these Japanese caves that were full of Japanese money. Marines, they were wiping their asses with it. They were playing poker, like funny money, all this bull. Well, he kept it, and he won like 20 grand or some of this money playing poker, and he just kept it as like a souvenir. Well, they get to Japan during the occupation, and he was still able to exchange it for US dollars and wired it back home, and that's what paid for him to go to med school, and he was a doctor for the rest of his life.
Well, that vet played poker with funny money and ended up becoming a doctor. Somehow, that's the most sensible thing we've heard all week. And if you enjoyed the show today, let's do a hot chocolate. It keeps the lights on around here. Well, until the next episode, my friends, stay safe and have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.